Thank you, Aaron. That was amazing. It's beautiful to be here alive. It's an amazing gift. It's often said that we can live as if nothing or everything is a miracle. It truly is a miracle. My name is Makimaa, and today we'll be talking about liberating our radiance. It's a paradox of this spiritual journey that the longest distance we travel is the one deep inside. And when we travel to that place, it catapults us into communion with every atom in creation simultaneously. We know our unity. Rumi says that divinity is shimmering in every atom of creation. We are part. These vessels are part of those atoms. The space between me and you is filled with every atom of radiance. Just pause for a moment. Take a breath. And yet here we are, humans, at the same time. We sit here today, if we're honest, with wars raging inside of us, maybe not at this moment, but war on our planet. And there's a chasm between the truth of what we are and our lived experience. And I believe that we're called to live like butterflies. Butterflies have imaginal cells inside of them that know what is possible, that know what they can become in their fullest manifestation. Yet they have everything they need within them already. Just like the buds that have already set outside that will bloom. Everything's already present. It just needs cultivation. It also needs our remembering. And I like the play on that words. Remember. We are all members of this great one spirit, this great one unity. And I think we're a little bit like bees who are flocking to the sweet nectar of a flower. We need others to say, come on, come in, come close. The nectar is sweet, and it's for you. I don't know about you, but I'm often incredulous about it being for me. Maybe on a day when I'm at church or in a spiritual community. Maybe a day when I slept well. I haven't been a jerk to anyone. Maybe on a day when I'm a little more open. But not on a day when I'm painstakingly aware that I'm running one of my patterns, or that I've shut off part of myself to part of myself or to another. The banquet and the invitation remain the same, regardless of me and my actions, regardless of you and your actions. There is a poem that could probably sum up this talk in about 5 minutes from Hafiz, Persian mystic. I'd like to share it with you. Light will someday split you open. Even if your life now is a cage, for a divine seed, the crown of destiny is hidden and sown on an ancient fertile plain you hold the title to. Love will surely bust you wide open into unfettered, blooming new galaxies. Even if your mind is now a spoiled mule, a life-giving radiance will come. The friend's gratuity will come. Oh, look again within yourself, for I know you were once the elegant host to all the marvels of creation. From a sacred crevice in your body, a bow rises each night and shoots into your soul, God, or whatever name you choose for the divine. Behold, the drunk singing one from the lunar vantage point of love. He, she, or they, whatever you call the divine, is conducting the affairs of the universe while throwing wild parties in a treehouse on a limb in your heart. The divine one is throwing wild parties on a limb in your heart. Wow. Wow. And then here we sit again. Perhaps our mind racing, perhaps our heart breaking, at war on our planet. And all of that exists in this space and time. Somehow mysteriously, radiance is hidden and apparent within all of it. But as I said, we are called to remember together. And I really appreciate this holy season of spring with so many religious and spiritual holidays and nature itself pointing the way in so many different, myriad, beautiful ways. So whether it is Jesus saying, the kingdom, or as I like to say, the kingdom of heaven is within, whether it is the Jewish Passover feast and the freeing and liberations of slaves from Egypt into the promised land, where there is a promise of flowing milk and honey, whether it is the Hindu festival that we just celebrated of Maha Shivaratri, when the great Lord Shiva drinks poison, consumes it, and turns blue to save the world from destruction. Whether it is our Muslim friends later on in May practicing Ramadan to remember the holy time of the Quran coming to Allah, we all draw close to the edge of the holy. We encounter the mystical experience. John spoke of practice being vastly different than words today. And that it is. While the dharma and dogma of our different religions across the planet could be translated in many different ways and interpreted in many different ways, the perennial philosophy that is interspiritual, interfaith, tells us that at the mystical core, the message is 95% similar, or perhaps more. And that message is, and insert your own words, be here now, arrive. Come to the place where heart meets life, where breath meets blood, where divine meets human, and all is awake. So all of these traditions and practices during this holy season point the way. I don't know about you, but sometimes I need something a little bit more concrete that kind of just reaches me. And so I got it. I got the whole pan of brownies full. The last time I spoke to you here, I passed out and I fainted. And that was the beginning of an initiation for me. Little did I know I had a very serious GI bug that was associated with long COVID before we knew COVID was even here in America. And it took me down deep valleys, past hallways of mirrors that shone with radiance and horror. I've never surrendered so many times in my life, and I'm so grateful that so many people in this room and so many beings here and in other planes showed up for me in ways that I didn't know were humanly possible or even divinely possible. And to make a long story short, during that time, I tried everything, mind, body, and spirit, to awaken, to uncover what wanted to be revealed. So many times during that time, I called my spiritual mentor in some kind of pain, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And a post-polio survivor, he would frequently tell me, Holly, you are whole right now. Quit focusing on the problem. I know, not in a disrespectful or disregarding way, in any way, shape, or form. but tap into your wholeness now. And at first I thought, dude, you're insane. I haven't been able to eat for 10 months. I'm stubborn enough that I know I'm going to live just because I'm that stubborn that I need to see how this thing turns out. But I had no idea how that was going to come to pass. None. And I went on a 3-week retreat because I had tried everything else. I thought, why don't I just listen? And I did, and during that time, portals opened in ways I didn't know they could. And shortly after that retreat, I was sitting with a friend who frequently would do craniosacral work with me and is a very deeply practiced soul and dear friend. And it wasn't a day that I was spiritually fit. I hadn't done a nice long yogic practice or meditation. I was trying to get taxes done that were going to be overdue. My mind was doing its thing. And all of a sudden I sat with her within the first few minutes, and it was as if the skies parted open. And I knew in my very bones, deeper than my very bones, that I am that. Not just me, but you and everyone on this planet. I can't even describe in words this experience, but it was as if something unshakable, unmovable, irrevocably unchangeable opened. And there's no going back from that point. I drank the Kool-Aid, as they would say. And I wept, and I laughed, and I cried with, I can't even say joy is a strong enough word. It was as if my entire life I had been searching for this thing that was seeking me, as they say. And I had had lots of openings like everyone here, mystical experiences where you feel bliss. But this was different. This was as steady as a mountain, and I even tried to have my mind change it. I knew that it didn't matter what I thought, what I believed, nothing could change this. I kind of thought, what about all those years of practice and all that trying? And I won't denigrate that, because somehow all of that tension, in some mysterious way, played into this birth, and at the same exact time it wasn't needed. We can come into this radiance at any moment. It's here right now. Just look to the person next to you. It's sitting there. During this time, I was greatly influenced by the teachings of Ramana Maharishi and all of his teachers. And one of my teachers, Miranda McPherson, in an experience different but similar to that, said, be nothing, do nothing, get nothing, strive for nothing, relinquish nothing, rest in God. And I'll close with reading something that I wrote in trying to come back from that experience to then being human and not staying in that state every minute of every day. And I've shared this with some of you before, but I need to hear it again, so maybe you do too. It's called Abundantly Enough, a Conversation with Radiance. Me, what would it look like to give birth to the radiance I am? Radiance. You don't have to know. The birth has already happened and is happening now. Can I trust it? If you want to, it will continue either way. What if I cannot see it? You won't always. It still exists. What if I doubt it? You probably will. It won't change it. Can you see this birth happening? Yes, I can. I am it. How can I see it? Just be it. Well, that's vague. No, it's just hard because you want to earn it. What if it does not look like radiance to me? Well, it probably won't at first. It's messy. What if it only peeks through at certain times? That is what might appear to be happening. It is always here. You are only aware of it when you let go. Well, how do I let go then? You don't actually. You are let go. Well then, what do I do to allow letting go? Stop everything. Soften your belly and breathe. Feel your feet, your body, your heart, your skin. Be honest. Tell the vulnerable truth. Listen deeply to your longing and follow it to the center. Be willing to sit there. Bring an advocate from this world or others if you need it. Allow others to see what you cannot. Trust your knowing, not your personality's knowing. Honor your feelings, but realize they are not facts. Make of yourself a garden and plant truth to feed yourself with daily, hourly, minutely. Let go of any label or measurement for yourself and be as you are. Be soft and squishy, tall and strong. Have faith in the not yet. Trust your knowing. Try not to take all of this too seriously. Wrap your arms around yourself and say, yes, I am here. Welcome. Thank you.